Basia?
Aspasia, yes. Okay, we are live now with our Style Chat, and we're so excited because today we have a special guest star with us. Her name is Diva Lomas, and she is a creative director, celebrity stylist, and content creator. And let me just give you a little background on how I met her. I actually met her at one of the Modern Day Wife events. It was in December, and she was at a booth promoting this amazing jewelry and beautiful bags. And we got to talking, and I got to know her, and I thought, what an incredible human being. And you are so glamorous and smart, and you're an entrepreneur, and you just I just connected to you. And I remember purchasing a pair of earrings at the table. They were amazing. I just don't have them on. And then we connected in such a way where she was like, you know what, like, this would look really great on you. And she had this particular necklace on her neck. She took it off and put it on me. And I was like, wow, like, how incredible is that? Like, I just met her, and she was just so kind. And you see her Instagram and what she does, and it's pretty incredible, very down to earth. But then when you see what she does, you're like, wow, this is incredible. So we're going to get to know her a little bit, and I'm going to let Nicole lead the interview. But I'm so excited to have you on our show, and thank you.
I'm so excited too.
And thank you for being here.
Yeah. I'm so happy, and that's how Latinas we are, like very warm.
Very warm. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Part of my culture.
It's so nice to have you on our chat and finally meet you. I know that Aspasia has talked about you for a while now. So you definitely made an impression. I want to hear more about like your journey, like how you got into fashion, content creation, and all of the creative things you've been doing.
So I'm from a small town from Baja in Mexico, and I'm a millennial. I was born before all social media and all this stuff that we are living now. I grew up watching TV. And when I was in my journey to decide what I'm gonna do with my professional life, I didn't know like what's going on around fashion, the fashion industry, because as I told you, like I'm from a very small town from Baja, and as we were talking before, like if you want to go and find fashion, you have to move to Mexico City. You're New York. Mexico City is as New York in the United States, right? So I decided to get into the law school. So I'm a lawyer.
Wow.
So the thing is that I'm a lawyer, and when I finished my career, I finished my studies. So I have the degree in the law school in Mexico, but I didn't work in that. So when I had the opportunity and when I start like seeking around, I said like, well, I want to get into the creative industry. I want to learn more about fashion, and I decided to move to Mexico City to understand what was going on, like into the industry. And in Mexico City, there is a big city full of all the legends, the bad and the goods that you're gonna listen all the time about Mexico. It's like New York and as the United States, that there's people around the world living there. So it helps you to open like your world, your own world. You just like open another, and you get more ideas about what's going on, and that's how I started getting involved into fashion. So my first encounter with fashion was as a PR, a fashion PR, and I learned what during the first 2 years that I was living in Mexico City. I was an assistant, and I learned everything about communication just by watching what my another friends or people, colleagues were doing. And then when I started like earning money, I start working as the assistant of the main director, and then now I start my second career that it was in communications. So I was like working in the morning and running to the school in the afternoon. So it was very hard honestly, to be working and paying your school and paying your living there. So it was like my time of sacrifices. Okay.
Yes.
And as you know, the fashion industry is not an easy thing, and getting to the fashion industry is not easy. But I was like so obsessed in getting into the real fashion industry that I started studying how Mexico was like a big manufacturer of a lot of brands that we know. 90% of the denim is manufactured in Mexico. So Levi's do manufacture in Mexico. They don't do it in the States, they do it in Mexico. Diesel, like a lot of, you will gonna find a lot of manufacturers in Mexico of American brands or European brands. There's a lot of these brands in doing stuff in Mexico. And I started studying the industry from scratch. And I continued my studies into fashion. And then I built my first PR agency, but it was only focused in fashion. But for me, it was very easy. I feel like here's the first lesson. If you are starting like something related to any skill, you have to be focused in something, or you have to be an expert. You have to develop like the skills from scratch, from everything. And there was a point when I was developing my career in PR that I was working with hotels, that I was working with beauty, that I was working with fashion, that I was working with celebrities, that I was working with so many topics that I didn't feel in that time that I was an expert. So there was a point that I just decided to go back into the sacrifice and said, I'm gonna quit all these accounts. I'm gonna start working with all these clients because I wanna focus just in fashion and understand, like for real, what am I doing? Because if you don't understand what you were doing, you were not going to be able to communicate. Then in 2011, 2012, all this social media boom started, and I had to do the transition from the traditional media to the digital era. And I said, like, this is gonna be a boom. This is gonna be something big. So I start studying communication. And you guys, communication in digital communication, sorry. And you guys, as Americans, you are 2 years ahead from Latin American communication. Asia is 10 years ahead from all of us, also in terms of communication. So I started like looking what the states were doing in communication, what the marketers in the states were doing in communication, and I started leading the market as a PR in the digital sphere. And that's when I understand that social media is more than communities. It's also your portfolio, and that you cannot be everywhere because people is gonna get lost, because people, they want to follow and they want realness and they want to get involved with something because they connect with someone, maybe because of your work. Maybe people is connecting with you because of your because they had go to the same school. I don't know, there's like a lot of reasons why people connect with you, for your traumas, for the things that you hate. That's where the haters connect with you, right? And I started building communities. I started building. I have right now I have 5 communities. I have Más Cultura. I have Medida Latina. That is another community that I just started here in California. I had My People. That is a project that I'm developing from a year from now. That is a fashion project here in California. And I have my personal social media, because my personal social media is where people can see the celebrity that some people consider me in Latin America as a real person, the one that goes to the dentist, the one that doesn't want to be glamorous all day. And that's when you start building like the connections with your people. And I have my other medias that help me to build my professional portfolio, right? So in 2000, I think it was 2017 that I decided, because Constellation Brands, that is a big company, need me to develop a communication project that it was like was very different from what I was doing around fashion. And I said like, well, I feel that this can be like a good challenge for me. It's another like kind of communication. And they bring me back to Baja. After 30 years living in Mexico City, I went back to Baja when I never thought that I was going to go back to Baja. And I went back and I moved back to Baja California, and I started building or working in this project. I have it was my only year that I didn't work anything about fashion, but this helped me to understand that I was ready to start building personal branding. And was the time when I decided to start getting into the styling profession. Because here's the interesting thing. I started like watching all these people in social media, and I said like, yeah, there's a lot of content going on. There's a lot of trends. People is almost, and right now I feel like everybody's doing the same thing in social media. So you need to dress up who you are. You need to have another like a strategy so people can recognize you when they see and they want to follow you and they get engaged, and to build another kind of communities that will take you to another kind of conversation where you're gonna start building a real business through social media. You can earn money from social media, but right now the payoff of the content that you make is not as good as it used to be 10 years ago. Okay. And I started working as I started studying styling, and that thing led me to become a celebrity stylist. So public figures from Mexico knew about my skills in communication, and they started hiring me to build everything, all of their image, starting from social media, from their communication through their clothes. So that way, that way they can build or they can get along easier and connect with new generations, connect with another kind of segments in the industry that they were developing, and we start building or changing reputation or making a consolidation of messages, of key messages that they were already sending but that people didn't understand. And we open and I started right now I'm working with the queen of the realities. She has over 60 million followers in all of her social medias. She's like the Kim Kardashian from Mexico. And I'm like working with a lot of politicians. And I start working in the States with the cast of Love is Blind right now. And that's why I started like finding all these platforms like Modern Day Wife, that for me was very easy to understand that the market in the States moves or acts different to the market in Mexico, to the targets, the different segments. So studying all this kind of stuff helps me to bring my celebrities into all these markets.
So
are you still doing celebrity styling, or are you just working on your companies now? Like Moscow.
I'm doing celebrity.
Can I ask you a question before you can I ask you a question? Yeah. I'm sorry. So what you're actually doing is that you're actually styling their entire persona, their brand. You're taking you're not just styling their clothes. You're actually branding them on social media. You're taking all of your background and promoting them and styling them in every aspect, not just their clothes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here's one. We just arrived. One of the.
Okay.
Hello. Hi.
Hi.
She's the most famous women in Mexico.
Well, we're lucky to have her. So I'm sorry to interrupt you, Nicole. I just wanted to clarify that because, when you say celebrity stylist, people think, oh, she just styles them for clothes and for event. But what you're doing is it's beyond that. You are doing PR, you're branding them, their persona and who they are, and moving them forward and kind of allowing them to mushroom into this big star, I guess. Yes.
Sometimes a celebrity is like full of so many people that you always need like a project manager that can control all the elements that you are hiring to build your reputation. So that's the interesting part, that you need someone that can take can build the strategy and put the pieces where they have to be so you can achieve the results that you are looking for. So I'm not the manager because I work with the managers, but I'm like the strategist that is building the reputation. And right now with the TikTokers, you can see TikTokers are like turning into celebrities, into singers, into there's a lot going on. We are like overstimulated with information. And so it's very hard that if you don't build like a personal branding, you can have a success in what you are doing. It's not as easier as 10 years ago.
Yeah.
No matter if you have talent as a singer, no matter if you have talent in acting, you need to build a full strategy to be where you want to be. So that's what I'm doing right now. And in that journey, I remember that I told you that I was studying the industry. So when I moved to the States because I got married with a gringo, like we call it here, with an American guy, an adorable American guy here. When I got married with him, I understood that that it was a very good opportunity for all these traditions, for all this culture, for all these manufacturers, for all these brands that are made from scratch and that they really are unique pieces to have exposure here in the States with all these celebrities that I was working or starting to work with them. And that's how, and for the celebrities, it was something new, it was something special that they were not used to have here anymore because it's very hard to find here in the States something that is not made through fast fashion.
Yes.
Something that is not made, something that is special. So what I'm trying to do is to put or to add to their image or to their lifestyle, like this kind of stuff or elements that they just turn into something related to them that make them feel more unique. So
kind of like making it very authentic to them.
Yeah, something more
special.
And of course, you have seen how all the world has turned into the Latino market from some reasons in terms of fashion. I feel that Frida Kahlo has never been more famous than today.
Yeah.
So if this is a trend, I'm gonna jump into the trend, but in the correct way.
Yeah.
So
sorry to interrupt you, but how do you keep it like when you're working with so many different influencers or celebrities, how do you keep it authentic since there's so much like saturation in that world right now?
Because I'm a girl that didn't have the access to what she loved since the beginning. I have to, what I do is that I try to like I explained you at the beginning with the brands. I study all of my clients from the beginning to the end. So I understand that they are so different in many ways, all of them. So I have like the most traditional woman to the most crazy woman as the one that is sitting here next to me right now. They are super different. Like I have like this gal that she's like super traditional. She's the one that runs the red carpets for entertainment, and I have to travel with her to the billboards. But she wants to be like very, very conservative, very classic. And this woman wants to be naked all the time, you know. So it's like everybody asks me, like, how do you manage or how do you handle that? I build different like sales, like team sales. That's how I call them. So I have different sales for them. And I search for the elements that will add to their reputation. And that they will think alike to them. Yeah. That's how I do it.
And then with creating content, do you plan like every month, like how you're gonna, create a story or?
The thing about my content is that I have so many years working in content that it's very easy for me to know what people is looking for. And my other secret is that all of my employees have to be Gen Zs. Only my assistant is not Gen Z. She's still a millennial. But the Gen Zs, they teach me a lot.
Yes, I'm sure.
And I start learning from them.
Mm-hmm.
So they keep me fresh.
Yes, fashion and on trend. We're going to take a look on some of your personal
Yeah, so
Instagram.
we want you to tell us, yeah.
Everyone like your style and the way
Do
you
you
post
do you
it.
want us to look at your Mas Cultura Instagram, or do you want us let's check out your personal
No,
Instagram
you
first?
can take my personal Instagram, and then we can move to Mas Cultura so people
Okay,
can know.
let me find that first while we're so but do you actually like Nicole was saying, do you actually plan out your content? Do you have like a social, huh?
Oh, we do have like something that is like a general planification, but honestly, the content moves every week. There's something new going on that you have to coverage. So in my blog, that is the fashion call, there's news every day. I cannot plan a content.
Yeah.
If you planned everything, it's not gonna feel real, and people is looking for realness. If not, turn on the TV.
All right, I'm
Yeah,
gonna share my screen. I agree. So we were looking at your Instagram,
This is
and
one of my clients. She's Rosy Rivera. She's the sister of a big. She passed away. She was like the new Selena for a while.
oh no. Okay, so one of the ones that we thought was
And that's
really,
Manalik that she's here.
which I'm looking here, there was one, where did it go? Oh gosh, here.
And that's Claudie. That's Claudie. That's a brand from Beverly Hills. And she's a girl from El Salvador. And she has like this great story. And she did all these power suits for Latinas. So we did this in Beverly Hills for her. But I just like get with all these ideas and I just like put it on.
Yeah, so like just watching all your reels, it's like it's amazing that you're doing all this plus what you're doing. Let me see
Yeah.
if I could, yeah. Oh, here. You would have to tell us what afterwards, what you're doing here.
That's the thing is that, for example, this one is because of my blog that's called the fashion.
So here you're just
Accessories.
I'm doing like a crazy thing, that's something disruptive, that like me.
and I think here, I think we saw something here.
I was explaining the dupes, the dupe situation, because there's something going on there, always with the dupe situation. So every element that I wear when I do a video, it's a hook for getting the attention of people.
So we were going to ask you, what are you promoting here?
Was not promoting anything. Like, people know me in Mexico like a person that knows a lot about fashion. So people was asking me about what was a dupe. And all this war and all this dupe war that is going on right now. So people was asking me, and I was explaining why dupes are important for fashion, for real fashion. So I'm just like giving a lesson, a ABC about what's fashion.
I see. And what are dupes? Did I miss that?
Dupes are a duplicate. They are like products similar to another products, but in different. But they didn't say that. They don't say that it's the actual product.
I see. Okay. Is there something else you want me to show here? But look at it's just
colorful and vibrant.
Yeah. And I love,
it's very dramatic and very edgy.
Yeah. On one of your I can't remember, one of your reels you said cool girls don't wear what other girls are wearing.
I feel that that's what part of my manifesto or my quotes.
Yeah.
I try to manage, if you can see, I try to build everything in black, and I always put like a pop of color as a hook. But I try to do something different. I don't like, I'm not a big fan of maximalism, but I'm not a big fan of minimalism. So I try to do something in the middle. And has been my style from since I remember.
So can I look at this? Let's see what this is.
That was my birthday party when I was turning 40.
That's beautiful.
You know, it's fun because like just looking at your Instagram, I feel like I know your personality, you know?
Yeah, I try to be, I play a lot with my age, that I'm 40 years old, because I have a big audience of Gen Z people following me.
Oh,
And,
Yeah.
and I do because I teach in many universities. And now I teach fashion. That's the silly thing about me, like how a lawyer like turned into the fashion industry and like to this big influence in fashion,
Yeah.
like authority in fashion in Latin America. And I always say to my kids, and I always say to any person that they just want to get involved into fashion, don't put like a term to the goals that you have. There's no term. You can start doing whatever you want to do. No matter if you are 40, no matter if you are 50, like better one start at 40 years old. Just do it.
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Yeah. No limits.
Mhm.
So
A
let
good
me
message.
share your actual mas cultura. And I love the way you spelled that because let me just see if I can find. Okay. So this is your brand, this is your business.
That's my business. Yeah. In Mas
Mas
Cultura, what we do is that we set up courses is where we people book our styling sessions, our photo shoots, the art direction services, and we also are pioneers in Latin America in artificial intelligence designing.
uh
So you can see a lot of artificial intelligence pictures because we are teachers for many schools. We taught many schools in terms of artificial intelligence.
which of these would you want us to show?
But maybe the video of the sketch that is there,
Which one?
that one.
This one?
That's a sketch. That's a fashion sketch. Yeah, in the corner. No, that's a TV show. We did the styling for the girl there.
Uh,
No, corner, the third picture.
this one?
That one, yeah. No. That's another thing that we did with we do that like a challenge with our clients
Uh-huh.
and the people that take our workshops. So we do like a challenge with them. No, it was not that one. The sketch,
Is this one on top of this one, right?
Oh, this one, right?
yeah, that's a sketch. Yeah.
Wow.
That's something that we taught in our workshops to build this kind of stuff
Oh,
with the
wow.
different technologies.
Yeah, because sometimes the sketches don't look exactly like when the model puts it on. So
And you can slide to the right. Now in the picture, there's like a in the same post, there's some
oh,
arrows
I see. Let me go back.
and you can slide a carousel.
Oh, I see.
That was made from our creatives, the people that takes classes with us. So our alumni are doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're creative minds.
Uh-huh.
Basically, what we do is we're strategists and we're creative minds. So we try to work with a lot of creativity. That's what we do.
Mm.
Yeah, I love the work that you're doing, and I love that it's so authentic to each person that you work with. I think that makes it special, especially we were talking about how things are so oversaturated now. I think people want to see people living real lives, but also looking fashionable, you know? So thank you so much for sharing like your background and all the companies you've been working with. We're going to post, we're going to let everyone know like Mas Cultura and your personal Instagram so they can also look and see and get inspired.
What's incredible to me is learning about your entire background. I mean, Diva, I didn't even know that you had gone to law school.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible. And that you stopped that and you said, okay, I'm going to start over. I'm going to do communications and I'm going to learn everything about, I love what you said about not being focused, because I think that's something where, as an entrepreneur, like
We are all over the place.
I want to reach this person and that person and moms and kids and men and everything. And somebody just said, just focus on who you think, focus on your target. and get to know your target very well. So that was really important. But I love how you have brought all of your education and your experience into what you're doing. Like that is,
Thank
even
you.
even if you think you've started from scratch, I'm sure everything that you have, all the experience you've gained in your past, in your past and all the education that you've acquired is playing a huge role in how you're moving forward in your career now. So it's been really incredible to get to know you at this level. And I'm sure there's so much more to get to know.
But we have a lot of time. We have a lot of time. We're gonna have a lot of reunions from other
Okay.
statewide. So
Yes,
it's gonna
yes.
be super cool meeting
So
each
I'm
other.
looking forward to seeing you again in person, and I'm honored to have had you on our Style Chat. And thank you so much. It's
I'm
been
on my honor. The honor is mine. Thank you.
oh, thank you,
for having me.
thank you.
Thank you,
So-
and thanks to all of your audience.
And I'm gonna try to be a little more creative too in my style. So like be a little more courageous. Like
You're gonna achieve it, I'm sure.
okay. All right. Well, thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
having
Have
me.
a beautiful day and
Yeah.
weekend, and
You guys.
so
Thank
happy
you.
to have you. Thank you. Okay. Take care.
Bye.
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 Bye.